Hello. You are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. It's important for me to remind you of that every time I come here and share these moments in a broadcast. Today we are in the seventh day, really the sixth day of the Lenten season. Last Wednesday was Ash Wednesday, and we began this season of preparation that leads up to Easter. And part of that preparation, as part of that preparation, I invited you to be mindful of your mortality, of the way that things are, and in this world, and receive that gift of your life each moment as the gift that it already is. Now, as I thought about it, I was last week at the beginning of Lent. My wife and I were with my father and mother in the Outer Banks, and we had 3 really beautiful days there, right on the ocean, looking at the waves, and it was warm enough to take walks on the beach. And each day, as I was walking along the sand, my wife and I, Mom and Dad watched the waves more, and my wife and I were walking on the beach. One of the things that we and lots of other people who go to the beach like to do is to collect things. In particular, like something like this. Yes, it's show and tell today. This beautiful shell, which is the exoskeleton of a now no longer here little creature. And that creature made this shells of shellfish, particularly of the mollusk phylum. Those shells are made about 98% or more of calcium carbonate, and maybe less than 2% is a protein. Now, I just say that because each one of those shells is left behind after that creature who made it, who spent all that time creating that beautiful shell that grew with it over time. Each one of these little intricate patterns and different colors, and we picked up different ones. Some of them are just more plain looking. See, I'm already making a judgment about it. Some of them are, they're all different colors, different shapes. And we picked them up because we were reminded, these would be reminders and touchstones from our time at the beach, a reminder of this beautiful time we had walking on the beach. But they're also reminders of the creatures, it's the mark the creature left behind that slowly over time, we've all seen the shells that have been worn down in the sand as the water comes in and out, washes it back, takes it back into the ocean and makes it a part of all that's going on. Since part of what we're doing in this season of preparation for Easter, is being mindful that our lives are a gift, that they're a finite gift. As much as we'd like to avoid aging, and we do that in so many great ways. We hide away those who are aging, a lot of them in institutions somewhere where they are well cared for, but we don't have to notice our aging population. It's just one of the ways we've found to deal with aging, so we don't have to see it and know about it in our world today. You can disagree, and that's all right, but it seems to me that's part of the reason why we created those places, is because we don't like to be reminded that we are finite beings here for a period of time, that every moment and every breath and every heartbeat is a gift, and eventually we give that up. Now, in that time, we are invited to seek and leave a mark. And there are lots of different ways to leave a mark, but the way that I want to invite you to consider leaving a mark is much like these sea creatures did. These sea creatures left the mark of their shell. And they built this shell to protect them from predators, and they were careful with it. to keep them safe and to support them, part of who they were. And then in the end, they left that shell behind. I picked up this shell when I saw it on the beach because I liked it. I liked the shape and the feel of it. I want you to think for just a moment about the things you're leaving behind moment by moment. What are you building in this life and what are you leaving behind? And as we all know, we can't take things like our money and our possessions. I can't take these shells with me when I go. I can't take this shell with me when I go. It's not mine. I inhabit it right now and I need to care for it. But I can leave behind things that will affect the world around me in different kinds of ways. You know, Maya Angelou said, people will not remember what they learned from you, what, the words that you said. They might not remember those things. That's not a direct quote. However, they will remember the way you made them feel. So I want you to imagine that you're leaving behind a carefully crafted shell in your everyday life. And the carefully crafted shell you get to leave behind is love. I told you that we are, on Sunday in our worship experience, I told you that we are weeds planted in this world to leave behind, that spread like wildfire, to grow love everywhere, kind of under the radar. Well, I want you to imagine yourself again as leaving behind this shell of love, and that people will remember that feeling. Now, 6 generations from now, they might not. But the people that you are in immediate contact with right now in all sorts of different ways will remember that. So I encourage you to be mindful that what you are building and creating day by day in this world is something that will be remarkable to be left behind. It may not leave a physical impression like a shell, and even this shell, if I left it on the beach, would already be partially worn down by being on the beach. I brought it here, and it's a little bit safer in my house. But the truth is, we can leave behind. We can build something that we can leave behind as a legacy. Let your legacy be kindness. Let it be love. Let it be that every moment you're building that legacy in the way that you talk to other people, in the way that you think about other people, when you catch yourself judging other people or yourself or others, let that go. Let that go. Be careful in the way you choose your words, and be careful not to think you are your thoughts. Not so great thoughts are going to rise in you. Let them go. Not so great feelings are going to rise in you. Let them go. But instead, leave a legacy of authenticity, of honesty, but especially of love, of kindness, of forgiveness, of hope. Because you see, that is a legacy worth leaving. Just like these beautiful shells that lots of people like us like to collect, you can leave a shell behind. And you can leave a shell everywhere you go. Even if you're still alive, still breathing, still in this shell, you can leave a bit of yourself behind. Just remember, you get this life. You get this life to live. So live it fully. Live it fully. Life is a circle. Mortality is true. Your own finite nature is true. It's real. You can try hiding it in lots of different ways, but it's real. But you can also leave behind something beautiful everywhere you go all the time. So I encourage you, be mindful of that today and on every day, and leave that gift behind, because you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. Thanks for sharing this time with me.